Hey Maine, this is a quick demo video for you for your Ultra Sabers that you sent me. I just got it done this morning. As you know, I was going to do a Verso install on this guy for you. Got everything all wired up and tested out to find out I had a faulty board. No biggie. Because of that, I gave you a free upgrade to a CFX board. So now you've got the there's just all kinds of capabilities you've got now with the CFX that you didn't have with the Verso. So I think you'll be really happy. I didn't spring it on you. You know, you and I talked about it. So thanks for being easy to work with on there. I hope that you enjoy this guy. Let's go over it a little bit. So I did put your Shtok NeoPixels in there like you asked for. Even though this comes apart right here, I did tighten it with my hand as much as I could. I did not want to glue it down. I just don't like doing that if I don't have to. But I will say, don't take this piece off. This upper piece has your PCB in it. Obviously your illuminated switch is right here. But the wires are long enough that go to your chassis. They're just long enough. So you have a floating chassis in here, which means this needs to be unscrewed. The chassis slides out so you can put your battery in and out. I gave you a removable battery. I like that system a lot better than a recharge port if we can do it, which we could here. And everything is wired just to size. So never take this portion off. We'll always work with the back of the hilt. So look, you have this screw here already. So I used this for a chassis retention to hold everything in place. So what you want to do, just unscrew the pummel cap like that. We'll loosen this guy with our fingers. You don't even need an Allen key. And then that chassis slides out just like that. Just like that. And it's going to slide out far enough for you to put your battery in. You won't really see your board. You can pull this guy out further if you need to get to your sound card right there. And you can easily take your sound card in and out for adding sound fonts. But you don't need to pull it out that far if you don't want to. So you see how much it's sticking out now and how much that battery compartment's sticking out. So I mean right there is fine. So you do have a positive and a negative sign. Positive and a negative sign that I modeled into the chassis to let you know about your battery orientation. And then of course your spring here is your negative side. So you've got those two visual marks to help you never put this in backwards. You don't want to do that, you'll fry the board. So I've done everything I could to help you orientate the battery the proper way. And then back here you have a Smuggler's Outpost 28mm bass speaker. It sounds amazing in this guy. So we'll put your battery in.
Rise, my apprentice.
Now when we slide this chassis in, we're going to want to make sure that this set screw doesn't latch on to the battery or anything else. You want this set screw, when you tighten it down, you want it biting into the side of your chassis here. So we're just going to make sure we line those up right. And then never push in the middle of your speaker with your finger to push the chassis in. You could push right on the edge and everything goes right in, slides right in. I just get it right past the threads for your pummel cap. Just do a little bit of a bite. You don't have to wrench down on it because now nothing's going anywhere, right? And then we'll slide this guy back on. We're going to test it without a blade first, and then I do have a 1-inch diameter test blade right here that we'll throw in so that you can see everything works with the blade as well. But first, this is a 1-button activation, so CFX on this is programmed for 1 button.
Rise, my apprentice.
You can see your illuminated switch, Shtok LEDs, you got smooth swing, flash on flash. So one thing with a 1-button setup when you want to do the blade lockup is you got to hit this and hold the button down at the same time. And you'll get that. Short presses on the button is your blaster deflex. And then a long press on the button will turn it off. just like that. Now let's throw a blade in. You do have a spot for 2 retention screws right here and right here. This one I actually use to hold your PCB in. So you're not going to want to mess with that guy. You're going to want to always mess with this guy right here. So we'll throw a blade in this guy. Blade fits in nice and smooth. You will feel it bounce on those pogo pins a little bit, so when you do that, press down gently to make sure all the pins are engaged before you tighten up your set screw. And you don't need to tighten it that much. Just a little bit of bite goes a long way with this guy.
I bring Darth Vader's enemies to justice.
Of course, if I had a full-length blade and I was tapping that blaster deflect, you would see it randomize on the blade. But because this is a test blade, you just mostly hear it.
Spectrum.
I'll show you how I did that. To change the blade profile first, we're going to do the blade effect before we do the color. I gave you about 21 different blade effects to choose from. You're going to hold down this button and twist your wrist, but keep the button held down.
Spectrum.
Keep holding it.
Blade profile.
I'll let it go. When you hear blade profiles, let it go, and then you can actually turn your hilt like this to find something that you like. There's a lot to choose from. We're going to try to find something solid, a little solid. Let's go with this. Let's see what I can find. We'll go with that one. Once you find one that you like, just tap the button. You'll hear that. Now to change the color, you'll want to do the same motion, hold down the button and twist your wrist, but as soon as you hear spectrum mode, let go.
Spectrum.
Let go. Now again, you can twist the hilt like this, but slowly, to find whatever color you want. Let's go with a cycle through all of them first so you can see what I'm talking about. We'll stop at the red. And then that effect and that blade color will be remembered when you turn it back on. And of course, your illuminated switch will not blink when the Saber is off, only when it's on. All right. Hope you enjoy. While this is downloading, I'm going to package this up and get it out to you in the mail today. Thanks.